Well, thank you, Rebecca, so much for being here. You sent me the nicest email a little while back, and I believe I was on vacation, and I teared up because it's so interesting being in this STEM space where I'm talking to myself on camera and I don't always know who's out there using my things or what is happening in your classrooms. But we're all connected in all these interesting ways. So I'm so excited for you to talk about your school-wide video news and how that went this year. And you said that this has been such a delight in your day.
Yeah, yeah, and thank you so much for having me, getting a chance for me to talk about this thing that I've really learned to love this year.
Well, why did you want to do video school-wide news? Like, what made you think, oh, you know what? I should start this. This is something that I want to get going with. What like really triggered that for you?
Well, there's actually a lot of reasons. I received a bachelor's in fine art in motion picture and television, and so I really wanted to work and be creative in the film industry. But then after working some internships and different production jobs, it kind of sucked my soul dry. And it wasn't very creative, and I just knew it wasn't what I wanted to do. So I switched to teaching, which has been so creative, so
Yeah.
rewarding. I couldn't be happier, especially in this role as a design lab specialist. So pretty much a STEM teacher.
Yeah.
And so even though before I got this role as a second and third grade teacher, I always still had it in the back of my mind I wanted to do it. But it
Wow.
just never really happened. And so then when I switched roles, um, and I knew I wanted to do it, and then I actually saw your workshop, and I was like, oh, this is like a giant, you need to do this sign. So
Oh.
I signed up and I proposed the idea to my principal, and he's very supportive and loved it. And so then I just kind of jumped in and did it. And I felt like our school kind of needed something like this because it is a big elementary school.
Oh,
We
okay.
have about 570 students, and the different grade levels don't get chances to interact. And
Mhm.
so this was a chance for them to see what different grades are doing. So we do different segments on like first grade did Teeny Tiny Town,
Yeah.
fifth graders went to the book battle. And so it's just a way to build that community culture, which is so important. So, and I still like, there's still definitely a lot of stuff that I want to do for next year,
Mhm.
and just to make it grow and be better. So, yeah.
I love your background. That is a really cool background. Like, so no wonder you're like super interested in it, but it's so different, I'm sure, what you were working on. And maybe there are some similarities too, but what you were majoring in and what you were working on, and then implementing this with kids. Like, is there a huge difference, or do you see a lot of similarities, or both?
There is a little bit of similarities, especially around the script writing. I'm trying to get the kids to write how they talk,
Hmm.
and which is hard, especially for fourth and fifth graders. Um, but other than that, we don't quite have the equipment to get too
Yeah.
technical. I'm hoping to
Yes.
change that though.
Oh, cool.
Um, maybe with a couple grants every year, build up our equipment. But yeah, not a whole lot of similarities, but then there is a little bit.
Yeah. Like like some of that basic stuff because they are little
Hmm.
kids. I mean, you
Oh
have to
yeah.
keep it pretty simple and manageable and all of that. But I like how you said it isn't too technical because you having a background in video, I do not. And so I like kept it as simple as possible using what we had. We used just our laptop cameras. Like what your setup is way more fancy than what I did with the
Oh, what?
kids.
Well, it's just we just use iPads. That's
Yeah. Oh,
it.
okay, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
then
oh, go ahead.
microphones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I'd like to get some lights and some better microphones, but
Yeah.
we're just not there yet.
Which is okay. Like, which I love how you just jumped on in and you're like, we're gonna use what we have and we're gonna make this happen. And that really helps too, having an admin on board. I also had a very supportive admin, same kind of thing. Like, hey, our announcements are very teacher centered. I don't know about you, but ours were they were over the intercom. It was the teacher reading a few things. It wasn't consistent on the timing. Often it was our admin, and they're busy. They have a lot going on, so either they would pop on at random times. And I noticed too, the kids weren't listening, and the teachers weren't either. Like nobody would stop, listen. They went on for 10 minutes. It was just too teacher focused and not helpful at all. So that's how I pitched it to my principal. Like I said, used all that wording. Were your announcements similar or were they something different?
Ours were our principal, we had kids doing the announcements sometimes, but they were just following a script.
Hmm.
And it was, some classes didn't really even listen. And so yeah, it wasn't very good at all. And so
Yeah.
this has been a lot more fun, a lot more engaging. Our principal, he's great because I'll say, "Hey, I've got this idea." And like for Halloween, I did a Halloween episode
Cute.
where the kids I had two girls and they were doing the announcements and then they heard something in the closet
Oh,
and they go and investigate, and it's our principals in there eating a bunch of candy, which then was a spin-off for we did a candy collection for Troops for
oh,
Treats. So then we kind
cute.
of put that in there. So I'm like, hey, I need you to come after school and stand in my closet. Are you okay with that?
Sure.
And still, like kindergartners will come in and they'll be like, is Mr. Meckel in there?
Oh, that's cute. And that's really cute. Like the kids get to see your admin in a
Oh yeah.
fun light. And like you said, we're having a big school. My school is the same size. You get to see this other side of the teachers involved and the kids involved. And have you noticed just, and I think I know the answer, but like what were the reactions with the kids watching or the teachers? Like what feedback have they given you switching to video announcements?
I was a little nervous. I was really nervous
Mhm.
at first because, teachers could be like, "Ah, it's just one more thing to do." And I really did have a positive response, which was so good. And people were coming up to me being like, "Hey, this is working great, but I have this other idea. What
Oh.
if we do this?" And I also love that they would come up to me and be like, what's up with the audio? It's not
Oh.
working. And so they would tell
Hmm.
me like what's not working, which
Yeah.
also really helped because I don't watch it in a class,
Yeah.
because I don't have class during that time. So it was
Hmm.
really, really help. I mean, the teachers have been very supportive.
That's really cool because it is really collaborative. I mean, there you have yours pre-recorded every single day. Is that how you do yours?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
we do 5 days on Monday. We record
Hmm.
5 days.
Yeah, so it's good to know and because they can see the kids' reactions to things like hey, so that's really great feedback, like whether or not they're on your team. Same thing would happen to us, or would kids even give you guys suggestions too? Like, hey, you should do this on the news.
Not really. They would tell me when I messed up.
Oh, yeah.
Mrs. Zide, you forgot to put in the Pledge of Allegiance.
You're like, thanks for not. You're like, you know what? You're a
Thanks,
really good
guys.
listener. You are, I love how you're paying attention to the news. That's how I would say it. Like, if we would mess up, like, you are really paying attention. That is fantastic. That is so good. Have there been, so you mentioned like quite a few things. I'm sure it's like hard to pick. And once you think about it, you're like, oh, and this too, and this too. But have there been any other successes in your program? And you sent me something really cool that happened.
Yeah. So I kind of have two big successes. One of them is a success actually that I wasn't expecting. When I started the broadcast club, I was like, okay, I know this kid's gonna want to be in it, and this kid, and this kid. But then there were students who applied that I wouldn't have ever guessed. And they've been great, especially a lot of students with learning disabilities.
Mhm.
And like we have one student with Down syndrome in it. And
Wow.
it's been so great to work with. Like I send a copy of the script ahead of time to a speech teacher so she can work on it with her student ahead of time. And I'll send scripts home early with certain students that I know need practice reading. And so that's been really great just to see some of these kids break out of their shell that
Oh.
I didn't even know what was in there. And I mean, I've been seeing these kids for 2 years couple times a week. So it was really a lot of fun to see that. And now, as I'm looking at the third graders coming up to fourth
Yep.
grade, I'm like, I wonder if that student might be in it. And I actually had a student today come up to me, a third grader, and he's like, Mrs. Zide, when is the application coming out for
Oh.
Broadcast Club next year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you would be
Yeah.
great in it. I'd love to see you in it. So that's
Oh.
been one success. Another major success was somehow word got out about this pretty early on up to the high school. And we have a cadet teacher program in our district where students who want to be teachers can then do internships in the school. And so one of them was in the high school broadcast club, and she wanted to come into and help out with my club. So I was like, that's great. And then she decided, she's like, I think you guys should come up for a field trip. And
Ooh.
I was like, okay. So I contacted their teacher, and we made it happen. And the coolest part was, well, there's a couple coolest parts. But one of the coolest parts was that she went up there, and planned this whole field trip. But it wasn't like, hey, kids, come and look at what we have, because we've got a pretty awesome video production up at the high school.
Mm-hmm.
It was, she set up little stations and workshops for the kids.
Oh,
So they were all divided into groups, and then they moved around. They got to practice filming B-roll, being on
cute.
camera, interviewing, um, looking at the audio. So it was really actually hands-on for them. But the best part was is that word got out to a local news station, KMOV, Channel 4 here in St. Louis, and they sent a reporter to do a report on all of our little reporters. So some of
Cute.
my kids got to be on the local news, which was just so cute. And yeah, so they got to see it up at the high school level and then also the real world level. And now I have a couple who are like, we want to be journalists.
Oh, that is so cute. I love, and that's really cool how she set that up and was thoughtful about here's how you can interact with everything. Like, what a great, I mean, they probably were thrilled to go anyway, but then you're like,
Yeah.
this is way better than I imagined. And that feature is so delightful. I'm getting chills right now thinking about it. I'll embed it in the show notes so people can see it. But when you send that to me, I'm like, that is so amazing. And what a cool opportunity where the kids can see, oh, this isn't just a cool project we're doing after school and helping our school, but look at how we can connect this to the real world, even in high school and beyond. And like you said, some of those kids you've never thought would be in your club, like, hey, this is maybe a passion of mine that I want to keep continue even after high school, which you kind of did for yourself. I hope you share that with your students.
Yeah, yeah,
So
they know.
yeah. But that is just so cool. And I love how the high school has that because not every high school has a program like that. Do you know if your middle school that they feed into, do they have anything?
They don't.
Ah,
And so my fifth graders, they're like, "Do you know, does the middle school have it?" And I'm like, "They don't." They're like, "I'm gonna
ah,
find my favorite teacher and make them start one."
mm,
I'm like, "Yes, yes, you
yeah.
should."
Yeah, you might as well. You're like, hey, I know a good workshop that you can get started in, and it's not that bad. And the kids will like know how to do it. And so just literally having a teacher set it up and get it organized and staying on top of it, it's worth your time for sure. So when you started your workshop, or sorry, when you started your news crew, did you get everything set up during the summer or did you start it mid-year? Um, how did you jump into that? And maybe you use my workshop to help support you.
Oh, I definitely used your workshop. I used it a lot.
Okay, good.
I really started, I did a lot of the planning over the summer. I created a lot of the video transitions that we did. I also put together all of the letters and notes home and applications. Um, yeah, so that way by the time school started, I was a little intimidated starting it because
Yeah.
it's kind of scary doing something new like this. But then once it got rolling, I mean, it was a lot of work to set it up. I think next year is
Hmm.
going to be a lot less work because I know what I'm
Yeah.
doing more.
Yes.
But Yeah, so I did a lot of the planning over the summer, and now I'm doing a lot of brainstorming right now about what can I do this summer.
Yeah, I love that. Were there things with organizing that made it easier for you to get it set up? Like any systems that were super helpful for you?
Yeah, the putting scheduling emails,
Mm.
email reminders to parents was a big one.
Hmm.
Because as a parent myself, I know it can be really, really hard to remember all the things. And I only have one child. And
But
so
still.
parents who have multiple, um, that was really helpful. And also having, I had a partner in crime, our
Yeah.
school librarian and media specialist, Mrs. Trosky. She was my lifeline. So while I kind of did the majority of getting things going, she was the person
Hmm.
that I could depend on. Hey, I'm a verbal processor myself, and so I need to talk about everything to figure it out. Um, and so she was really good for that. And she showed up for every recording and helped me monitor students and just kind of get things going. So having a bouncing board was
Hmm.
also very, very helpful.
I agree. I had a couple of teachers join in on me. So same like you, I did the majority of like the managing of it and getting things organized, but having a couple extra teachers support you, whether they come every week or switch off every week, and they don't have to be the same position as you. Mine were classroom teachers that were helping me.
Hmm.
But I agree. It helps a lot, like with managing the kids, bouncing ideas off. Um, Even like if you have to be gone for a day, it could still run. And you had multiple groups of kids, is that correct? You had like quite a few kids join.
Yeah, I had 38 for the first semester, and so I did two groups, which worked out
Cool.
really well. And
Hmm.
then I moved to 53,
Oh,
and
wow.
that was too many.
Yeah.
So the kids they were really only able to do it once a month, and I
Hmm.
just felt like they didn't feel like they were getting enough time with them, and I felt like they weren't improving as much because of
Yeah,
that.
true.
And so next year, I'm going to have a more rigorous application process. It won't be everybody gets in.
Hmm.
I found email communication with the students was also really helpful,
Cool.
especially for producing segments. I'd have kids email me and be like, hey, I want to do this.
That's cool.
And so if I could communicate with them via email was helpful. But still, I spent a lot of my mornings running in between fourth and fifth grade classrooms, touching base with students to get
Hmm.
things done. So I'm hoping by having a more rigorous application
Yeah.
process, it'll be better. And the majority of my students this year were fourth graders.
Oh,
So I'll have a lot of fifth graders next year, which will be very nice.
yeah, because they'll know the flow of things and be familiar with some of the basics so then you can jump in and try some new stuff and teach the younger kids. Did you just do fourth and fifth grade for this?
Yeah.
I did
Hmm.
I did too, and I thought that was fine. Just where they're at academically and being the leaders of the school. I thought that
Hmm.
was funny. And like you said, you'll have the little kids who get excited. I want to do this when I get older. When can I apply? I'm like, well, keep practicing. I'm watching you for the next
Yeah.
few years. And I felt like too, I don't know if you do any other video projects in your classroom, but even like quick recordings, like, hey, you're going to make a video to share and talk about your project and you're good to go, like something informal. I noticed watching the school news every day, my students were highly influenced by the other kids on camera. So then when they were recording, they were like trying to be all professional and having like that same cadence. So I noticed the little kids, I'm like, you guys, I'm watching you. And this is like your time to shine on your little quick video. This could be part of when you are in fourth or fifth grade. So I don't know if you've seen the same thing in your class.
Oh, that's really cute. I didn't do a lot of videos. We did a lot of stop motion.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's really where our it all started. And then at the beginning of the year, I taught fourth and fifth grade video production things first. Like they had to make a how-to video. And I did
Perfect.
that so that way then I could teach them editing. So then I could have
Hmm.
editors for my club. It's like, I'm
Yes.
going to do it first.
Yeah, totally. Oh, with your editing, I wanted to ask you that. Do you do your filming and editing the same day or do you do two separate days?
So this year I learned a lot. I did most of the editing myself.
Mm-hmm.
What I wanted to have happen was I wanted to have a uh, during school have a group come towards the end of the day because fifth graders kind of have some free time during that.
Mm,
But I was teaching a first grade during that time. And so I had a group of, I call them my four rock stars who would show up
mm,
all the time to do the editing. And when they did that, that worked out great. But because I couldn't necessarily watch what they were doing, sometimes the video wouldn't get uploaded or it just wouldn't turn out right. So I love that you're nodding your head right now
yes.
because that means it's not just me.
This literally sounds like my first year doing the news. I edited every single one. Because I had the filming down, like the filming I got the hang of, and that was fine. But I also did that. I had two kids who are also my rock stars and like were super into it, but then sometimes they would forget or like, well, that's kind of not, you shouldn't put that in there, or same like they're kids and they were so adorable and so cute. Same exact thing happened. And I mean, you get into a routine editing, but at the same time, you're like, it'd be great for the kids to know. So I ended up my second year having an editing crew. So we had a video crew on Mondays, editing crew on Tuesdays. And it worked out with the schedule. Like I think the new episode would go Wednesday. So I always had to make sure I watched it before. I watched every single one. I'm sure, I mean, you edited all of them, so you watched them all. But that worked out pretty well. I had two groups rotate with editing throughout the school year, and that worked out so much better. And I mean, slow going at first, but then they were great at the end of the year. They learned a ton. I was impressed with their editing skills.
Yeah, yeah. Next year, I'm gonna do on Wednesday mornings. We're gonna do because doing another after school is just too difficult for me. So I'm gonna do a morning
Oh,
crew,
perfect.
and they'll edit the episode. And then once they get that down, because that can go pretty quick,
Yeah.
then they'll also work on writing the script for the next
Oh,
week.
I love that. That's a great idea.
Because that was a bit really time consuming writing those
Yes.
scripts.
Yes.
So, and
Yeah.
I was kind of dragging my feet to do another club because I was like, I don't have the time. And then I was like, well, now I'm doing all this work and I'm not getting paid for it.
Hmm.
While if I have students doing it, I will, and I have to do the work anyway. So I
Yeah.
finally put two and two together.
Perfect. Yeah. And they want to do it. Like they
They
get
do.
so excited. And those kids who edit are super into it too. Like you're gonna see same kind of thing. Kids who you wouldn't expect who want to be an editor. You're like, and they're actually really good at it. You're like, this is awesome. Like
Yeah.
perfect. You need all the sides of the video production experience.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
So if there are any other teachers out there listening, and we've talked about our hesitations or things that happen, it's not perfect the whole time, but it's probably, I agree, the most rewarding club and experience and thing you can do. But if there's any teachers listening who are on the fence starting their own video school-wide news, what do you think they're missing out if they don't do it?
Well, I think giving kids an extra time to shine has always been is always a great. I mean, it's just good to give them as many opportunities as you can. And also, it was a great challenge for me. I mean, I feel so blessed to be in this job of design lab specialist where I don't have like I have a lot of freedom and creativity. And so, especially a lot of teachers might not have that. So this is a chance where you can actually do that. And it's also fun to try hard things and actually figure it out. So I think that that all makes it worth it. And also, you'd be surprised. I was shocked at the amount of support I got from the high school and just my district and other teachers. So there's just also a lot of support out there.
I agree. And having video news is not a new concept at all in school. Um, and it is very doable, even if especially if you pre-record, it does help not going live because you can fix all the kinks and then have it. be published. So definitely not a new concept, but it's definitely an underutilized concept. I agree. Like just it's a way, and you mentioned this at the beginning, it has brought your school together in really cool ways that you didn't even imagine, and you're already planning really cool ideas, and I'm sure the kids are thinking of stuff too. And so it's very, very rewarding, and I agree, worth the time because you're going to see a lot of cool things happen at your school, and just having that video news pop up every day, they look forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been so much fun. And it's been a great way for me to get my creative outlet, I mean my creativity out. And sometimes I did things and I'm like, I don't know if people are gonna like this or not. Like we have Missy the Misplacedodon. She's a
Oh.
giant dinosaur that sits by our lost and found. And every Wednesday and Friday, she shares her top 5 picks from the lost and found and does like
Oh
a
my.
little fashion talk about it. And she has a very ridiculous British accent. And the kids, for some reason, think it's me, but I'm like, I'm not a
Oh,
dinosaur.
no, you're
So I
not.
don't
It's
know.
not you. You're gonna have to
No,
send me a clip of that. I
no,
have to
it's
see this.
Missy's a little ridiculous.
This is great. I love how you have a reoccurring character. It's like being on SNL. There's reoccurring characters.
Yeah, yeah, she comes back. She definitely comes back twice a week.
Hmm, she's a star.
Oh, she is. She's got the fashion sense for it.
I love that. I love like see stuff like that. You have school-wide inside jokes and things that happen. My friend, they did a mystery reader during like Read Across America week. And so they had teachers wear their school mascot head and they had different segments throughout the week. And so they had to guess who was reading this poem. And at the end of the week, it was like the masked reader. That's what it was called. The
Oh, that's a
Masked
great
Reader.
idea.
Yeah, so they read it on camera. And at the end of the week, they revealed who the masked readers were. They did it throughout the month. It was hilarious. And she said they had a
Oh.
hard time reading in the mask, but it was also part of the whole, it was so funny. So that's a cute little segment you could add in too.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I feel like there needs to be a board somewhere where people can share their ridiculous broadcast news ideas.
I agree. I'll check my workshop because if there's not, I can add one in there. And then if people are in there, they can share what segments they've done. Like even if it's a Google Doc to type in,
Yeah.
that would be really helpful. Well, anything else you want to share with people out there? I mean, you're such a great guest, and I love hearing your whole experience. It makes me feel better too. Like some of the hiccups you had, I also had. Makes me feel better. But anything else you want to share with the teachers out there?
Say just jump in and just do it. You could even just do just like a Friday episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way my old school did it. And so just try it. If you're thinking at all, it's worth it. It's a lot of fun.
I love that. That's great advice. And I can't wait to hear how year 2 goes. Please email me and let me know. Because obviously, I mean, year 1 it went great. And your email, like I said, was so sweet. And so I'm so excited to hear how year 2 is because you're going in, you have all the hard stuff thought through. So now you can get even more creative with all the segments and how you put things together. So can't wait to hear how it goes.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again. And I hope you have a great summer. And thank you for being here today.
Thank you.